Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins at 1111. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. There's so many of you. I'm so happy to have you join us, and of course big shout out and love and thanks to all of my loyal followers that have been with me for so long. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so sorry that I didn't make it to our United meditation this week. These are just unprecedented times, so I'm sure you can all appreciate. I've got 4 children at home and things have been different. So we're all just working through this the best way we can. I know you are too, so I'm sending you all so much love and so much healing. My daily mantra right now is I am full of health and vitality, and coronavirus cannot exist in my body, so I recommend you use that too. But I'm sending all of you, every single one of you that tunes in today, some love and some light and some healing, and intending that you're all protected and supported through this really difficult period. But onwards, I have a beautiful reading for you today. I know you guys love these ones. This is a twin flame stroke soulmate focused reading. It's of a spiritual nature. We're looking at what is happening in the connection that you're sharing with this spiritual, love that you're experiencing. So this could be someone that you're either in touch with or not, but we're going to be looking at the current energies for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, seeing how each party's thinking and feeling, and then we're going to have a look at what's shifting. There will be an extended read today in which we're going to look at, what are each party's intentions, and to get deeper guidance into how you can move forward. So we've got 3 piles for you, and as you can see, no crystals today. My children have been making these beautiful dot mandalas, and I thought I'd use them today instead. And I've got loads of new decks to share with you. These 3 that we're using in our piles are all gifts from students of mine. I'm so blessed to have such a wonderful student community. I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you so much. The first pile is the Nicoletta Ciccolo tarot, which is from Alexandra. You can see it here with the pink, yellow and red mandala, and they're beautiful. Thank you so much, Alexandra. It was such a lovely birthday treat. The second pile is the Cosmic Tarot, also from my student Victoria. Thank you so much. Again, they're absolutely stunning. You can see them here with the green, purple and blue dot mandala. And the Hush Tarot is from my student Suella, who is also just so generous and so lovely. And you can see them here with a mint, lime and pink mandala. So these are beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so humbled to receive gifts from you like this. And if you would like to donate a tarot deck to help keep my readings fresh, you can find a link to my Amazon wishlist in the description box below. I always appreciate them. I've got some others as well to share with you today. These arrived also from Victoria. We've got the Lightworkers Oracle that were a gift from Caroline. And we're also using today the Aminati Oracle, who are actually a gift from my daughter. So really grateful for all of these. Now, the second 2 piles are for the connecting energies. That's the bit that will go in the middle in our spread. That's the Ophidia Rose. And for the divine masculine energies, we're using the Dark Mansion Tarot. Okay, so let's get this reading on the road. Pile 1. I'm going to move pile 2 and 3 out of the way. Let's just get those out of the way as well. Right, pile 2 can come over here. So pile 1, you've got these beautiful cards from Alexandra. What is happening in your connection? So remember, we're going to be using 3 piles. The pile on the left down the side is the divine feminine energies. And we're looking at her current energies, how she's thinking of feeling about the connection, and what's shifting for her. Now, please remember, I will use the he, she pronouns for divine feminine and masculine, but you can alternate these as you see fit. They're not gender-specific readings. It could be he, she, whichever energy you associate with. Just pick your place. Okay. Divine feminine, current energies. Tower, the 7 of Wands, the Page of Swords in reverse. How's she thinking and feeling? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Nine of Wands. What's shifting for the Divine Feminine? The Queen of Cups in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. The Moon in reverse. Okay. I have a feeling I'm going to need to move these over. Let me just check if you can see them. No, you cannot. This is the first time I've not had a manicure in forever, by the way. I apologise for my disgusting hands. Oh, my sparkly nails. I've just ordered myself some so I can do them myself. I normally go to the salon. Okay, we can see those now. All right, connecting. Actually, we'll do the Divine Masculine energies first. Might have to move my crystal grid as well. I apologise for not doing this before I started. It really didn't occur to me they would be in the way. In fact, let's just pop those away. And that's easier. Right, so the Dark Mansion Tarot for the Divine Masculine energies. These are very cool cards. They're very, very detailed. Current energies, the Divine Masculine. Isn't that interesting? Look, we've got the Tower for him in the exact same spot. My goodness. That's very cool. The Two of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Cups. How's he thinking of feeling about the connection? The Devil in reverse. The Star. Two came out here, three. In fact, I'm going to keep all three. We've got Queen of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Lovers. What's shifting for the Divine Masculine? Five of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords in reverse. And the Five of Swords. Wow, these are intense energies. Okay, so the connecting energies down the centre. I don't work with reversals in this deck. This is the Ophidia Rose Tarot. So if they come up in reverse, I will just flip them the right way round. The Three of Swords. The Page of Pentacles. The Emperor. Intense energies, guys. Let me just check they're all in shot. Yeah. Okay, we've got enough room for some oracle cards as well, so let's do that. I'm going to get out these because these are deep. Remember, these are spiritually focused readings. What is happening in your spiritual connection, spiritual service. Divine talents. Fourth ray of harmony. Okay, so these are very intense energies for our Divine Feminine and Masculine here. It's so fascinating that the Tower came out for both of them in exactly the same spot for current energies. So, you know, both of you are going through quite dramatic upheaval right now. Now, these are very testing times, but I feel for both of you, it has really created a lot of dramatic and very sudden shifts in the way you live and the way you exist and, you know, the way you function. And you're both feeling this. So these are very intense energies that are moving between both of you. With the Seven of Wands here for the Divine Feminine, her barrier is up. You know, she is feeling defensive. She is feeling judged. And you can see here in this card that you can, this is like a child, you know, being spanked. There's a lot of red and blue here. You know, this is definitely some kind of inner child wounding having been triggered through her interaction to her divine masculine and just making her feel defensive. She was scolded or told off. You know, she felt embarrassed and ashamed and humiliated. So these are very, very troubling times. And with the Page of Swords in reverse, it feels like it was the divine feminine that cut off communication. You know, there's been some kind of incident here between the two of you whereby, you know, the divine feminine has just felt very defensive and she has withdrawn. And it's definitely deep inner child wounding that's being brought to the surface here by these events. So she's feeling very impetuous, you know, very indignant. And these aren't positive or warm, fluffy energies that she's feeling towards her divine masculine at the moment. She's very disillusioned and quite angry. The divine masculine, of course, is also having this Tower moment. And with the Two of Cups in reverse here, you know, and followed by the Ace of Cups, this is such an interesting combination, because I feel like this rejection by the divine feminine has really forced him inwards. You know, he's definitely learning to approach his feelings in a very concentrated way, you know, where he wasn't prepared to do that before. But he knows that this feels quite final. He also feels like, you know, everything is just on the floor in pieces with both of you in that Tower moment. And the connecting energy here is the Three of Swords. You know, this is very painful energy. Threes for me can indicate a karmic, and it could be that there's karmics on both sides of the fence for you. But in addition to it suggesting it being a karmic, or a third party, you know, the Three of Swords is just intense pain. It's a lot of heartbreak. This is both parties. You know, their current energy is one of dramatic, sudden change, upheaval, crisis, and heartbreak and pain. Both of them are grieving for the other. And there's definitely been some kind of ending following some kind of conflict. In terms of how the divine feminine's feeling, pretty rotten. But there's also this steely determination here. I do feel like our divine feminine needed this separation to happen because she thought she was focusing on herself, you know, but really she just got caught up in a tidal wave of really being primarily focused on her divine masculine. And that self-care, you know, it kind of began to fall by the wayside. And this has been a wake-up call. It's given her more time and space and energy to focus on herself. But she's also feeling like there is this air of finality. You know, she's feeling like, I really am done with this. And she's kind of letting it go. It does feel like a powerful release. And with this Nine of Wands here, you know, she's choosing to not give up on the truth. She understands this is a deep spiritual connection, but it feels like this is the beginning of this divine feminine really coming into union with self, really making herself the priority, whereas she was previously so distracted by the intensity of the energies between her and her counterpart. Now she has space from this. You know, she's waking up again. She's got time to rediscover her focus and her mission work. We've got spiritual service, divine talents, and fourth row of harmony here. These are all very, very powerful cards. And what's really interesting is 21 reduces to 3 and 39 also reduces to 3. So this is Empress energy as well. You know, as twin flames or high-level soulmates, you will have gifts connected to your mission. Now, the twin flame mission is very specific. It's about teaching unconditional love, learning unconditional love, so you can light up the world with unconditional love in whichever way, you know, you are talented and inclined to do. But dependent on the nature of your spiritual mission, there will be a path for you that is relative to shining your light, and it feels like you're stepping into that energy now, Divine Feminine. This fourth row of harmony, which is also number 6, it's about love, expansion, heart awakening. For you, this is a period of intense transformation. So even though you're feeling like you've let your person go, and you're kind of feeling all right with that, you've released this attachment, and you're now feeling determined to move forward, to maintain the integrity of your spiritual journey, and recognize that you don't have to be with your person. You're a twin flame, you're a soulmate, you're an awakened soul that has a mission. So it feels like you've really turned towards spirit, and that you're getting into the groove of not having this communication. You're finding yourself again, you're rediscovering yourself again. The Divine Masculine's got the Devil in reverse. He's also releasing unhealthy attachment, but he's feeling a bit more hopeful towards the future here with the Star. He's making wishes, he's trying to be optimistic, but this is the one where we had these 3 cards come out. We've got the Queen of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the Lovers. The 5 of Cups is about grieving, and the Lovers is about choices, and those choices are very clearly demonstrated in this card, where you literally see a gentleman being with one woman and the other being behind his back, ignored, rejected, and looking quite cross about it. The Lovers is often about choices, and in this deck never more so. And I do feel like he's chosen someone other than you, and he's grieving. He's grieving over that. The regret is intense, because I think he was very emotionally divided anyway, and this could be why you've both had a Tower moment, and we had this 3 of Swords here. As I said, it feels like there's definitely some third party or karmic influence, and that he has chosen somebody else. But I mean, with the Queen of Cups here, his love is deep. The Queen of Cups is, he's making an offer in one direction, but grieving in the other. I feel like this person feels like they can't win. They're going to hurt someone whichever way they turn, and they're going to miss someone whichever way they turn. So this definitely feels like someone who's still emotionally divided. They know it's not over, just like you do. They're optimistic that you can come together, but right now they're in pain because they're missing you. They've definitely chosen someone else. That's how it feels. The connecting energy is the Page of Pentacles. And this is both parties being very pensive and thoughtful about how to move forward, about how to communicate, about what to say. So both of them definitely have communication on the mind. Both of them are missing one another. But it also feels like they're both, very focused on this being necessary. I feel like both parties are aware that this period of separation is beneficial. In terms of what's shifting for the Divine Feminine, it's really interesting because we've got the Queen of Cups in reverse here and the King of Wands in reverse here also. And we've got the Moon in reverse. Now the Queen of Cups appears upright here. And I do feel, that this is why it is useful to have a peek into terms of what could be shifting, because it gives you time to prepare, and it gives you time to reflect on the trajectory that you're on based on your current attitude and experience of life. And that's something that's adjustable. You don't have to be on the trajectory you're on if it's not going to be for your highest good. So there is a warning here that, there could be some kind of existential crisis, some spiritual doubt, questioning all of this. It may get to a point where, and this is quite common, when you're opening up to your psychic development and your psychic gifts, there are so many intense periods of, it's about learning to trust yourself. The periods of, am I making this up? Is this right? How do I know this is what I'm meant to be doing or thinking or feeling? Is this even real? Is it all in my head? Am I schizophrenic? This does kind of suggest you're heading down that route because your psychic development is going to gather pace quite suddenly. And that can be overwhelming if you've not got support or people that you can speak to. So the guidance here is to be prepared for that, to reach out, to seek guidance, to communicate with others. I have got a support group on Facebook which you can join, where there's people on this journey. And I do actually have a class coming up, How to Trust Your Own Inner Guidance. It's a one-off webinar for £11.11. You can find it on my website. But it might be worth checking that out also, because as your spiritual gifts come online, you know, you need to make sure you ground and protect and just have that support network around you to reassure you that you're not going mad. Because that's what it feels like. There's going to be an intense hit of doubt here, of questioning, you know, is this right? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I on the right path? Is it all real? It's one of those for sure coming up. In terms of what's shifting for the Divine Masculine, honestly, I feel we've got 2 5s to him here, the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords, and then the 9 of Swords appears in reverse at the centre. So whilst he is releasing a lot of anxiety, I do feel that by releasing fears, he's opening himself up to some quite dramatic and difficult shifts and challenges. With the 5 of Pentacles here, we've got some kind of rejection. This is either leaving or, you know, someone leaving him. And with the 5 of Swords, we've got extreme conflict. So, you know, it does feel like he's going to be going through his own kind of rough set of circumstances. But the connecting energy is really reassuring. We've got the Emperor here. I remember that we're in a number 4 year. You know, this is a year of rebalancing. This is a year of everything being brought back into harmony, back into balance, and the year of the Divine Masculine. So a lot of what's being shifted is in our practical earthly realms. And for you two, with, you know, having these tarot cards, the Tower appear in the same position. It feels like these shifts are dramatic. So while you're going through this, just stay calm, ground and protect more frequently, stay stable. You know, you have to trust that the Tower reduces to number 7. It's this card of divine intervention. These changes were universally intended. And they can be painful, destruction, and, you know, the collapse of how things were can be really intense and tough, but you're just being asked to trust and to ride it out. These are tumultuous times, but there's a lot happening. You know, there's a lot shifting, there's a lot progressing, even though it may not feel like that. It's just about getting over these upcoming obstacles. Okay, let's get some Aminati Oracle cards and some messages from Spirit as well. I benefit with gratitude. I am kind. Connecting one. I honour animals with reverence. And a message from Spirit card. Mouse. Peacock. And mountain goat. So, the Divine Feminine, I benefit with gratitude, and Mouse, you're overlooking some important details. Pay closer attention to what's going on. So you need to just understand that even though this may feel like times of difficulty, pain, grief and hardship, this is an opportunity for you to grow spiritually in a hugely expansive way. As I said, you're coming online in a really powerful way. And if you can just resist the need or the desire, the old way of being, which is to allow yourself to fall into fear or anxiety, and just choose to meditate and relax instead, and focus on gratitude and focus on just feeling good and surrounding yourself with light and connecting with your higher guidance. Right now, it's like you feel like you have to be active. You have to be averting disaster. You have to be making changes. But these changes are happening around you. Your only job is to be still and just to allow it. And then to trust your own inner guidance to move you towards the right actions at the right time as things begin to settle. But you need to just ride this shift out with gratitude. You need to just relax above all else. This is what Spirit's asking you to do. Because when you're relaxed and you're paying closer attention, you're going to see some important detail that's going to allow you to come out of this on your feet and strong and stable. So you just have to trust that it's all happening for a reason. For the Divine Masculine, I'm kind. Let yourself stand out and be noticed. And this is really positive, because throughout all of these, you know, this is barriers coming down and things being, all these dramatic changes, which is certainly to do with relationships and conflict that your masculine is going through. He's actually going to come out of this a little bit stronger in himself. I feel like there's been a situation here where he could have been manipulated or bullied. It could be, if it's not a romantic partner, it could be within the family. And, you know, he's coming out of this recognizing, no, you know, I'm a good person. I'm not defined by how these people perceive me. I've been around this toxicity, and, you know, I'm going to allow myself to be seen and heard more. This is him, you know, rebuilding his confidence. So this is really positive. The message for him is, again, to trust. Everything falls away for a reason, and, you know, you've just got to let it be. You've just got to let it be and just relax. Keep thinking it through. We've got, for the connecting energies, I honour animals with reverence. There's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to correct it with the mountain goat. So there's a real need to get grounded here. And if you work with power animals, to call them in and work with them too. If you have animals in your home, to be aware of their presence and the energy that they lend to you and to your environment. You know, this is a real good time to reconnect with nature in that way. If you don't have pets, just to observe animals through your windows. You know, wildlife is all around you. But there's a need to be grounded and to really become aware of and embrace the animal influences in your life that are lending you support right now. And the mountain goat is reminding you that there's a need to regain balance. And, you know, remember, this is for both of you. There's something out of balance, and you need to allow things to be brought back into harmony. But you can only do that from a place of clarity. You bring things to balance when you're still. And this is what needs to happen for both parties. I really hope that was helpful, part one. I'm going to move this over to extended. We're going to take a deeper look at each person's feelings. We're going to look at what each person's intentions are and get some deeper guidance for you moving forward. Hopefully I'll see you there. Lots of love. Hello, part two. Welcome to your reading. Okay. So we're using the pile you chose, the Divine Feminine energies on the left. We're using the Ophidia Rose for the connecting energies down the centre, Dark Mansion Tarot for the Divine Masculine. So let's pull the Divine Feminine cards first. And we're asking, what are the current energies of the connection? What's she feeling and thinking about the connection? What's shifting for our Divine Feminine? We're going to go over to the extended read to look at a deeper insight into thoughts and feelings and intentions, both parties as well. And what's the guidance? See, we'll get some guidance today too. So Divine Feminine, current energies, the Hermit in reverse, the Five of Cups in reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse, thinking, feeling, the King of Pentacles in reverse, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, little blocked energies here. What's shifting for the Divine Feminine? The Queen of Cups in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse. These cards were riffle shuffled, by the way, and the Page of Wands in reverse, the only card. So the Page of Wands upright, the only card to come out, not reversed. Right, Divine Masculine energies. Oh, it's upside down there. I'll move these up in a moment and check so you can see them all. The Page of Swords in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the Ace of Swords. Oh God, my hands look so rough. No manicure and they're red raw from cleaning. Six of Swords, the Magician, the Hanged Man, the Four of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So blocked energies all around. The connecting energies, let me just check that you can see these. Ah, yes, you can just about. We've got them all in. Perfect. Room for oracle cards as well. We're going to grab a few. Obviously we'll get more as we go through it. I don't read with reversals in this deck, so if they come out reversed, I will turn them upright. The Hanged Man. The Six of Pentacles. The King of Cups. And from the Lightworkers Oracle, a gift from Caroline. Thank you, Caroline. Cosmic Heart. Cosmic Christ. Grounding. Paradigm shift. Just tune into the energies. So this Divine Feminine is in a rotten place. But she has stopped trying to control things. She's released control. She's, after procrastinating for so long and trying to figure out a way to control things, she's just let go. She's let go of that desire, that need to just cling on and make things work in a specific way. And she's coming through this period of grieving, but she hasn't yet been able to face herself. This Divine Feminine is someone that's, it's really interesting because it was a similar energy, not the same, but a similar energy in Part 1, which is on the cusp of surrender. She's ready to give up trying to fight for control and give in to divine planning and to divine timing and to just allow things to be. She's moving into the present and into a state of mindfulness. It feels like she's definitely kept herself withdrawn through this period. There's definitely a feel of absolute lack of communication here between both parties, which is again the similarity to Part 1. But there's also kind of an energy of giving into it, of surrendering to it, of willingly just finally something is snapped inside and it's just like, okay, breathe out, I release. It's just, but this Divine Feminine's afraid. She's afraid of this next stage. She's afraid of what's going to come up for healing. The Masculine too, I feel, has been in a much darker energy. He's been in pain, but he's been coping with it from a very bitter, very cynical, very resentful perspective. He feels disempowered. He feels like he's been cheated. But he's also seeing the truth as far as his own behaviours are concerned. I feel like this Divine Feminine had pledged her unconditional, undying love to him for so long, and she's actually finally pulled back and said, actually, no. And so he's kind of like, well, was this real? I thought we were meant to be eternal. But he's starting to understand that the boundary between unconditional love and exploiting unconditional love is a fine one. He's starting to recognise the error of his own ways. He's starting to understand that this is going to require some growth of him also. But he is still bitter. He's still resentful. He's still not dealing with this in a very mature way. I feel like there's definitely an age gap in this connection. The connecting energy here is the Hanged Man. And I really think, as I said, that both parties are surrendering. They're surrendering to what is. They're surrendering to the divine creating the new path forward. That, with so much blocked energy as well, there is that feeling of inaction from both of them. That is just, okay, let's just see what happens next. In terms of how the Divine Feminine is feeling, she's feeling very disconnected and out of balance in her material world. We've got the King of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles all in reverse. She certainly has nothing left to give her counterpart. She's very focused on her home, on her family, on her own reality right now, on everything that is 3D and practical and earthly. She's not giving any space for thoughts or emotions or decision making. She's caught up in a tidal wave of dealing with the present. And actually this is what she needed to ground her. She's opening up to the divine plan, to divine timing, to that trust and faith, and she's just getting grounded. She's bringing her earthly affairs into balance. She's focusing on that change that needs to happen in her earthly realms to help keep her stable. So she's really distracted right now from her divine masculine. She's dealing with her own dramas, is what I'm hearing. But this divine masculine is making huge leaps and bounds. You know, he does feel like he is surrendering to this connection. We've got the Handman again over here for him. You know, he is surrendering to this connection now. He knows the truth. He knows there's something bigger here than just romance. And even though he knows he's got to move away from it for now, you know, he does feel empowered to strike out and make this work in future. You know, he wants to make things work. He wants things to be okay. He wants to move towards calmer waters, to start out on a new trajectory, a new path. But the connecting energy here is the Six of Pentacles. You know, this is about give and take. And I feel like with the Six of Pentacles coming up in reverse here for the Divine Feminine, she's really saying, I'm not giving any more. That's how I feel. I've given enough. And, you know, forget unconditional love. It has to be balanced. You know, it's not a license to exploit me or take advantage of me. I'm pulling my power back. And this divine masculine, he's kind of, you know, gracefully accepted that, but he's now looking to understand how he can empower himself to give more, to bring things back into balance. Both parties are aware that this has been one of the main subjects of disharmony in this connection, is that there's just been no equal give and take, no equal reciprocation. In terms of what's shifting for the Divine Feminine, we've got this paradigm shift here. And again, this is a number 4 year. This card is number 4. Number 4 is about balance, harmony, stability. It's also the number of the Divine Masculine and getting in control. But as I said, this Divine Feminine is releasing control. She's releasing it to, you know, the cosmic powers that be. And in this paradigm shift, you see her further naked and vulnerable, you know, opening this portal door with this being, some kind of creator hovering over. You know, she's ready to surrender. She's, you know, she's opening the door to her own heart. She's opening the door to her own awareness. She's surrendering to spirit. She's surrendering to what is. She's trying harder to listen. There is still a lot of emotional imbalances and a lot of emotional turmoil that needs to be resolved within the Divine Feminine. She has a predisposition towards emotional coercion and manipulation, because this is how she learned to get attention and to get what she wants in childhood. So she's being asked to reflect on this, to look at these behaviours from a much broader perspective, so that she can fully embrace more light that's being channeled to her. The Page of Wands here, being the only upright card in this whole spread for the Divine Feminine, is really about starting out on that spiritual journey with focus, with gusto, you know, with concentration. There's something really intentional about this energy, you know, that she's really being asked to fully embody it. And that means becoming aware of those kind of wounds that are still holding you back. Because the King of Swords in reverse as well can be about anger and conflict and kind of toxic communication, and also a warped viewpoint, because you're seeing it through anger, you're seeing it through resentment. We see our Divine Masculines in that energy at the moment as well, but our Divine Feminine's being cautioned against that. She's being asked to really reflect on her own communication patterns, her own conduct. She's being asked to reflect on, you know, how she's unwittingly being emotionally coercive, because this is something that she's really got to heal and work through, to recognise that none of us is infallible. We're all imperfect human beings doing our best to ascend and to grow. There's no shame in acknowledging our weaknesses. So, you know, you're really being asked to pay close attention to what Spirit is sharing with you about your own self, about your own wounds. You know, you need to reverse this hermit energy and go within. For masculine, we've got the Four of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. You know, so in terms of what's shifting for him, he's definitely going to be coming out of a period of withdrawal. You know, he's going to be moving along to kind of, again, this is about releasing control, releasing the desire for strategy, you know, opening up to just whatever is. whatever will be kind of energy. And he's in no hurry. He's not going to be messaging anytime soon. He's definitely aware now that he doesn't need to take action. He just needs to wait and see what happens and trust his own instincts in the moment. He's definitely, no longer caught up in this kind of tidal wave of pressure, which is how it's felt previously. So this has given him the space to kind of really think about things, and it feels like he's done thinking about things now. He's ready to move forward, but he's not in a rush to do that. He's just taking his merry time. He's thinking things through and waiting for the opportune moment, waiting for a sign, waiting for an instinct. He's definitely very switched on, this divine masculine. He's much more in tune with his own gut instincts and his own awareness than he was before. He just needs to release. I mean, there's not a lot of emotion here. There's a lot of emotional releasing that needs to happen for this divine masculine. He still needs to face his emotional self. Right now, he's still up in his head. And even though he's considering all of the spiritual points, he's doing so from a place of intellect rather than a place of heart. The connecting energy here is King of Cups. And, this is about both parties moving to a place of much deeper emotional maturity. This is the place from which they can actually begin resolving the communication difficulties that exist between them, that always end up creating this kind of breakdown in their connection. And, ends up with one party feeling like their needs aren't being met and the other party just feeling like they can do no right. It feels like a real impasse that's just gone round in circles over and over again until the divine feminine's finally snapped. She's given in. She's stopped trying to fix this. She's stopped trying to control it. And she's kind of turned away from spirit briefly, but this spiritual awakening is coming in at full force, I feel. So with this connecting energy, you're both moving towards that King of Cups energy, that beautiful, powerful level of emotional maturity. Let's get some more oracle cards. Dark Angel, Earth Healing, and from the Aminati Oracle, I converse with awareness. Isn't that powerful? So it's talking about becoming aware of your communication patterns. I embrace the all. Weasel, Peacock. So, for our divine feminine, you're really being asked to embrace your darker self, the shadow aspects of self, just to let them go, to release all fear associated with connecting with them, addressing them and releasing them. It's not going to hurt, It's more painful for you to be stuck in this place. It's going to feel... like when we get really worried about taking off a Band-Aid and you kind of think, oh God, this is going to hurt so much, and you put it off and you put it off. But in reality, it's off and there's that feeling of kind of relief because it was uncomfortable, a bandage or something. And this is exactly how it's going to be with your pain. We've got I converse with awareness, and again, your communication style is being somewhat hostile at times and sometimes emotionally coercive did come up, particularly in love, because she's got green and pink emanating from her mouth here. So particularly when it comes to intimate and romantic relationships, this may have been how you've seen your parents demonstrate, relationship communication. It could be habits you've picked up. There's no shame in it, but you're just being asked to be aware, to be aware of those shadow aspects and to not be afraid of releasing them. You can come out of the dark. The weasel says, be silent, pay attention and observe with your eyes, ears and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. Because this is about getting grounded and mindful and present and just really spending time in quiet contemplation and meditation, to really feel through your thoughts, rather than just thinking, feel it with all of your body. This thought's not nice. Where does it come from? Where do I feel it in my body? How can I release it? You're being asked to connect with your truth. For the Divine Masculine, we've got Earth Healing. I embrace the all and let yourself stand out and be noticed. And I think with that Magician energy as well coming in here, you know, this Divine Masculine is definitely moving to a place of greater confidence and understanding as far as this journey is concerned. It could be with this Earth Healing card that he is really tangled up right now in providing support, healing or voluntary work for the wider community, given what's happening in the world. You know, he could be really focused on that. But he's certainly embracing all of this journey and all of its truth. And he feels empowered and confident and ready to move forward. He's very accepting of the spiritual nature of things. It just feels like both parties are reluctant to communicate at the moment because there's still this standoff of conflict between them. And the Divine Masculine not being connected enough to his heart space or emotions to really say the right things, and the Divine Feminine having pulled back so strongly and, you know, her focus really being on self at the moment, which is good. It's where it needs to be. So I'm going to take this over to the extended reading now. We're going to take a deeper look at how each of these parties are feeling about one another. We're going to look at what their intentions are towards one another and get some deeper guidance as well from the cards. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the reading and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So we're looking today at what is happening in your connection. We're going to look at the Divine Feminine energies on the left with the Hush Tower, the pile you chose. The Ophidia Rose is going to get us the connecting energies down the centre, and we're using the Dark Mansion Tarot to get the masculine energies. So feminine on the left, masculine on the right, connecting energies down the centre, and we're looking at current energies, how are the parties feeling about one another and what's shifting. I'm going to take this over to an extended afterwards as well, where we're going to have a deeper look into what they're thinking and feeling, and you as well, and what the intentions of either party are, how you can expect things to move forward, and of course some deeper guidance for you. So let's get the feminine energies out first. This is the Hush Tarot, a gift from Suella. Thank you, Suella. Okay, Divine Feminine, current energies. The Lovers, that's Radha and Krishna. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. And the Five of Pentacles. How's she thinking and feeling? The Queen of Wands in reverse. The Five of Wands in reverse. The Two of Cups. And what's shifting for the Divine Feminine? The Knight of Cups. The King of Cups. And the Ten of Wands. I'm just going to move these up a bit. Beautiful. These are such pretty cards. Thank you so much, Suella. Okay. And for the Divine Masculine energies of the Dark Mansion Tarot. So we've got the King of Cups in reverse for current energies, the Three of Cups in reverse, and the Lovers. That's interesting, the Lovers out for both of you. How are you feeling and thinking, Divine Masculine? We've got the Three of Wands, the Empress in reverse, and the Ace of Swords. And what's shifting for this Divine Masculine? The King of Wands in reverse, the Fool in reverse, and these two have come out together, so I'm going to keep them, the Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Right, connecting energies down the centre. This is the Ophidia Rose Tarot. I don't read with reversals in this deck, so if they come up reversed, I'm going to turn them the right way up. Ooh. The Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. And we're just going to get three of these. Let me just check that all these cards are in shot. Yes, they are. We've got Macabre Spiritual Protection. Got Initiation by Air. and Dark Angel. So, current energies, our Divine Feminine, with the Lovers here, you know, and the Masculine's got the Lovers. I mean, the current energies feel like there's a lot of decision making going on here. There's a lot of careful consideration going on here. I do feel very strongly that both of you have got third parties, that both are making decisions, but it feels like the Masculine's kind of led with this. It feels like, you know, he said, I can't do this third party thing anymore. I can't betray my person. I have to make a decision, and it's not you. Because the Divine Feminine's in this Five of Pentacles energy. She's feeling very rejected. You know, in this Page of Pentacles in reverse, she doesn't know how to move forward. She feels stuck. She doesn't know what to say. She's, you know, these are feelings of just deep emotional disruption. And yet also there's a deep, deep love here. There's a deep love, and that this is actually a brand new beginning for this Divine Feminine. She's just not seeing it yet. You know, she's learned about love, and this, I feel like for this Divine Feminine, it doesn't sting as much as she thought it would, which is a testament to how much healing she's done. But this Divine Masculine with this Lovers here, Three of Cups reverse, King of Cups in reverse, you know, it feels like he's like, I can't offer you anything anymore. You know, I have to pull my energy back. He said no to this kind of, you know, casual, it probably wasn't casual, it was very deep and meaningful, but, you know, the liaison was never committed, it was never made official. And, you know, he definitely had someone else. It appears that this Divine Feminine may have as well. And, you know, he's pulled back. He said, no, I can't do this anymore. The connecting energy here is the Ace of Pentacles. So, you know, this is a brand new beginning for both, even though it seems like the consequences are pretty devastating for both. We've got initiation by air here over on the Divine Feminine side. You know, this heart awakening is going to bring her a lot of truth. We've got the macabre spiritual protection here. She needs to trust that this whole debacle is fully divinely guided, and that these lessons that are being presented are designed to expand her intellectual awareness of this journey and of her own emotional and spiritual self. You know, at the moment she's feeling very spiritually disconnected, very, you know, lacking in motivation, feeling just not very driven or inspired. You know, there's a lot of questioning, there's a lot of inner conflict. And even though she trusts in this love, you know, she loves this person, we've still got this Two of Cups energy, she loves her counterpart so much. Her spiritual beliefs has been kind of thrown into question, and she's just feeling very fragile and wondering if she's clutching at straws, you know, if she needs to let this go. She's asking, is this love dead? Can it really be eternal? You know, she's downloading an awful lot of information at the moment. With this macabre thing here, it reminds me of last time I inquired about the macabre. I was guided to speak with Archangel Metatron, and it feels like meditating through Archangel Metatron would be advisable for this Divine Feminine at the moment. There's activations and downloads that are happening that need to be brought to her attention. The Masculine is feeling like he's on a new trajectory. We've got the Empress in reverse here and the Ace of Swords. And one thing I'm noticing about this Masculine is how closed off his heart space is. How disconnected this person is from his emotional self. He's in a very cold energy, and he really does believe he's made the right decision. I know it may hurt to hear that, but at the moment, you know, he's just thinking that he's been too long invested in his current connection, and it's not something he's ready to let go. And that, you know, the feelings just aren't penetrating. It's not that they're not strong, it's just that they're buried, they're packed away. The connecting energy here is the Page of Swords. And, you know, this does indicate that there could actually be some communication here, albeit sort of brief and kind of, you know, minor excuses to say nothing much at all. It's the kind of communication it feels like. But it feels like even though this masculine in this energy of, you know, I've made the right decision, and the Divine Feminine's kind of been, her heart's been thrown into a state of disarray by the drama of it all, I do feel like there could be still some kind of ongoing communication here. It could be that you work together or something like that, but there's just been, as I said, minor excuses made for that communication to continue. But as far as feelings are concerned, this divine masculine is so closed off from his feelings. You know, he's just really thinking that he needs to move away from this connection. He needs to be true to his existing relationship, and that he can't pursue it anymore. And morally and ethically, that's the right thing. You know, this is a very kind of up in the head decision that his heart wasn't engaged in that process. In terms of what's shifting for the divine feminine, we've got this Knight of Cups energy here and the King of Cups energy. Of course, it came up reversed here. And, you know, these are very powerful cards to come up in terms of what's shifting, because this, for me, you know, suggests that there could be a turnaround of the energies. And I think what's really important for this divine feminine is that she uses this as an opportunity to address her own shadow aspects. You know, all of this doubt and fear that's coming up to keep an open heart, to keep loving unconditionally, you know, to trust that she's at the final leg of this hurdle, even though it doesn't feel like it. Because it does look to me, I mean, we'll have to look deeper in the extended reading about his intentions, but even though he feels very certain now, this King of Cups reverse here, you know, I think he's coming back in. He's coming back in quite strong, and this time his cup's upright, and, you know, he's going to be making an offer. So it does feel like there's going to be a sudden turnaround, but the divine feminine here is being asked to stay grounded in possibility, in the possibility of love and romance, to allow herself to indulge this, to process this. You know, I know she feels rejected right now and it must really hurt, but she can release this shadow. She knows how to do that now. That's how it feels. This divine feminine is fairly skilled and developed. You know, she just needs to allow this period. And I feel like, as I said, it's created some confusion, some doubt, but she's holding firm and strong throughout. And I really do think in terms of what's shifting, you know, you are actually going to see a big change in your masculine. That's how it feels. The King of Wands in reverse, you know, for the masculine, he's definitely feeling disempowered. And, you know, right now, that new beginning he thought he was going to have with this other person, it definitely looks like isn't necessarily going to come to fruition, and he's going to be deciding again. Unfortunately, here he's still deciding on how to transform things from his headspace. You know, he's trying to figure this out without connecting up his heart, and that's what he's got to really learn to figure out to do. That's going to be the challenge for him. But the connecting energy here is the Nine of Wands, which is about endurance. This card asks you not to give up. It asks you to stay firm, because things seem really dire right now, but big changes are afoot. So let's get some more cards here for you as well before we take this to the extended, some guidance. So this is the Aminati Oracle. I give offerings that are genuine. I honour virtue. And a message from spirit animals, condor and cheetah. So divine feminine, I think one of the things you're still being asked to heal and being made aware of is that sometimes you give because you so desperately want someone to offer the same love in return. And right now it says you're too enmeshed in this situation to step back and see the bigger picture before making decisions or taking action. So right now you're enmeshed in the pain. Yeah, and because you're in that pain point, you're in that lower vibrational energy, you're not seeing the truth of this situation. You're not seeing those opportunities to heal yourself and to be accountable for how you've brought things to where they are as much as the other person, because you've kind of enabled it to continue in this way. You've allowed and accepted it. And this is about being true to your heart space, loving for love's sake rather than for desire for self-fulfillment. Not to make that sound dark, but you know, it's that people pleasing, it's that codependence of you know, if I love you this much, hopefully you'll love me back. It's that energy. And when you're not as enmeshed in it, you're going to see much more clearly. You're going to see that this person does love you. They're just very disconnected from their feelings. For him, we've got I honour virtue. And I really think he's starting to recognise this about you. You know, that there is this purity and just something very honourable and loving about you. So he's getting really clear on his intentions. You know, he's asked to stay focused, because there's a real kind of momentous shift of energy in his zone of awareness that's going to require him to act quickly, to move quickly. As I said, he feels quite calm and considered in the decision he's made. He still thinks he's made the right decision, but there's going to be some kind of new piece of information that's going to dramatically transform how he sees things. So pile 3. I hope this was helpful. If it resonated for you, feel free to join me over on the extended. You can find the link in the description box below and near the timestamps. And I look forward to seeing you next time. If not, thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love. Bye.